All right, let's jump right in. I want you to picture something. You're at a wedding, maybe a birthday party. You wander over to the dessert table, and you pick up a cookie. And when you look down, you see the smiling faces of the happy couple printed right there on the icing. It's cute, it's a personal touch, but then comes that moment of truth.
You hesitate, right? It just feels kind of weird, maybe even a little bit wrong. Well, you are definitely not alone. And believe it or not, that tiny moment of hesitation is at the very heart of a massive business phenomenon.
Okay, get this. The personalized gifts market is projected to be worth over $47 billion worldwide by 2027. And photo gifts, they're one of the fastest growing parts of it. We're talking about everything from custom M&Ms with celebrity faces to lattes with your own selfie printed in the foam, and yep, those wedding cookies.
And that right there creates this really fascinating puzzle. Companies are pouring millions into putting our faces on everything you can imagine, from socks to Oreos. And we love buying this stuff for birthdays and anniversaries. But then, when it comes time to actually use them, something just seems to short-circuit in our brains.
So what is going on here? Why is there such a huge gap between how excited we are to buy these products and how reluctant we are to actually, eat or destroy them? Well, a 2024 study in the Journal of Consumer Psychology has a really compelling answer, and it all has to do with some very old, very deep-seated beliefs.
It turns out the researchers argue this feeling comes from a kind of magical thinking that's still humming away in the background of our modern brains, whether we realize it or not. It's like this echo of ancient belief systems, the kind of stuff anthropologists first started documenting in pre-industrial cultures.
There's actually a name for it: the law of similarity. And the core belief is super simple, but also incredibly powerful. Deep down, on a gut level, your brain feels that the image equals the object. It doesn't just see a picture, it feels a direct, real connection to the thing itself.
And this is exactly where the internal conflict starts. You've got your two minds at war. Your rational mind is saying, dude, it's just sugar and ink, eat the cookie. But your intuitive, ancient brain is basically screaming, whoa, that's Amy and William. You can't just bite their faces off. It's this battle between what you know and a gut feeling you just can't shake.
And here's the key to the whole thing. The study proposes that because our gut feels the image is the object, the product itself is seen as being infused with the essence of the person in the photo. So that cookie isn't just a picture of the happy couple. In some weird primal way, it kind of is them.
So if the cookie contains their essence, what does that make the act of eating it? Well, suddenly it's not just a snack. It's transformed into an act of destruction. And destroying a person's essence, even if it's just symbolic, triggers a very specific and very negative emotion.
It's like this psychological chain reaction, which you can see all laid out here. First, you see the photo. Second, that gut-level belief kicks in, and the product gets infused with the person's essence. Third, the very idea of destroying that essence triggers this moral discomfort. And what's the final step? You just avoid eating it to make that bad feeling go away.
But what kind of wrong are we actually talking about? This is a really crucial point. The researchers found it's not about thinking you're causing actual physical harm. No, the discomfort comes from something deeper. It just feels disrespectful and, well, kind of impure to destroy the essence of a person.
One of the studies they ran illustrates this perfectly. People were asked about using napkins at a wedding reception. When the napkins were plain, no problem at all. With the couple's names on them, usage dropped a little bit. But with the couple's photo on them, the likelihood just plummeted. People would literally rather wipe their hands on their pants than on the couple's faces. It's wild.
Okay, but hold on. This isn't some universal rule. I mean, the popularity of these products isn't a total mistake, right? The researchers actually identified the very specific conditions where putting a photo on a product is a great idea. It all comes down to avoiding that feeling of destructive, moral yuckiness. So, the first big factor is durability. Just think about a cookie versus a fridge magnet. For the disposable cookie with a child's photo on it, people were way less interested. But for the durable magnet, where the image and its essence are preserved, the effect completely flipped. People were actually more likely to want the magnet with the photo.
The second factor is the morality of the image itself. Does it matter what the picture is of? Oh yeah, big time. For example, people had zero problem eating a chocolate with a picture of a dictionary on it. But a chocolate with a picture of a Bible, that triggered the moral discomfort, and all of a sudden they weren't so hungry anymore.
And this final factor really explains the whole paradox. It's all about when you're actually thinking about consumption. When people were just designing custom Oreos online, what you see here as low salience, they absolutely loved the photo idea. But the second they were asked to imagine guests actually eating those cookies, high salience, their enthusiasm totally dropped. We love to get them, just not to destroy them.
So let's pull back from the cookies and napkins for a second. What does all of this mean? When you zoom out, you start to see a much bigger, much more profound insight about the way our minds actually work.
Here it is. Despite living in a world of incredible technology and science, our decisions are still being secretly guided by these ancient, intuitive beliefs we're not even aware we have. The law of similarity isn't just some dusty anthropological curiosity. It's quietly influencing what you choose to buy and what you hesitate to eat every single day.
And you can see how this creates a huge paradox for businesses. As the researchers themselves put it, that special, personalized product that was meant to create a great memory might, ironically, be creating a negative one instead, generating less value for everybody involved.
And that leaves us with a really fascinating question to chew on. The next time you hesitate to step on a crack, or you feel a little weird throwing away an old photograph, or yes, eating a cookie with a face on it, it's worth asking yourself, what other magical beliefs are secretly guiding your choices